all of our weird and wonderful plants. Are you ready? Hey everyone! I invited a bunch of my friends to show off their weird and wonderful plants that are not aroids or Hoya, and then at the end I will show you my picks. If you like what you see, please go and check out the creators on social media. I've linked their different platforms on the top here: Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And you might see some faces that you already recognize from previous collaborations or just planty YouTube in general. A big thank you to all the creators that joined, and let's roll the tapes.
Hi, my name is Katya. You might know me from here on YouTube as Botanical Katya, or I'm also on Instagram as Botanical Katya. And the weird and wonderful plants I'm going to show you today are actually both ferns. So the first fern I'm going to show you is the Microsorum thailandicum, also known as the blue oil fern. And honestly, the name speaks for itself. These ferns get this really crazy, beautiful blue reflex in their leaves, which is very much visible in regular lighting conditions. It's not like a begonia where you have to take a picture with a flash to really see it. But this one really pops. It might not look as blue right now just because I've been keeping it in a pretty bright space, and the blue reflex is a form of adaptation to extremely low light growing situations. Basically, if I'm not wrong, the blue reflex comes from a special type of chlorophyll that just traps the light longer in the leaf, and it creates this really beautiful blue shimmer and helps the plant take up as much energy from the light as possible. I really love this thing because it's just super easy to take care of. I've literally just have it in this terracotta pot with a little plastic cup underneath, just so when I water it, a little bit of water always stays in this plastic cup, and it's kind of like a self-watering situation, but it's not like super well thought through. And I basically just have this in room humidity, and probably a slightly too bright corner. You can put this in like really low light and it will do wonderful. It will even look better probably. And also I think that this guy is pretty happy because it's producing spores like crazy. Then for my second plant, I also have an epiphytic fern, and this one is also incredibly easy. This is an Lecanopterus mirabilis, and it's an ant fern. So basically it grows with this rhizome that looks super weird and freaky and kind of alien-like. Underneath this rhizome there's like a little bit of space where ants can go in and live in. The plant does this on purpose because if ants live inside, they protect the plant from all kinds of pests by eating them. And as I mentioned, this fern is really easy to take care of. I constantly forget to water it. It literally has scars on its rhizome from me forgetting to water it. As soon as I water it, it just perks back up and everything is fine. So if you've been thinking about trying an ant fern, I really recommend this one. It's super easy. And yeah, it's a really cool, weird little alien plant. So thank you so much to Roos for including me in this video, and I can't wait to see everyone else's plants. Bye!
Hey you guys, this is Sean from Only Plants, and my Instagram is @botanist. Thank you, Roos, for putting this together. And I just want to show you this weird and wonderful plant. This is actually the Platycerium hakugen, and I'm here at the Taiwan Expo. And this is actually a gorgeous plant with super tight fronds that is very crested. And you can see from the sides a lot of cute babies that are coming off from the plant. So Taiwan is really known for growing beautiful platyceriums, and a lot of you guys in the West are not familiar with it. So come to Taiwan and check out their platyceriums. The next weird and wonderful plant, it's not exactly one plant, but it's a group of plants. And this is here in Taiwan, and this will definitely be not everybody's cup of tea. Look at this. I think this is a kind of pachypodium, and it's grown beautifully in a pot like this. But this one here is pretty fascinating. It's like a stump that was cut out, but somehow it's alive, and it's put out these branches off the side of the stump. So I want to remind you guys, this is not grafted on the plant, but rather it is part of the bark. So this is very much alive, and this is just how it looks. I love just how gnarly and amazing it is, and a reminder to us how resilient plants can be. Here is a Pitcairnia starry night, and this is actually an unknown cultivar. And I'm here in Taiwan in a botanical exposition, and this plant is beautiful because of its amazing color. Not only does it have a vibrant red underside, beautiful emergent leaf, and also the dotted leaves. But then I'm going to show you another plant, which is even more exciting than this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing this for the first time ever because this is the variegated. And this is actually discovered in TC. So one of the TC babies grew up a little bit and put off an offshoot that's variegated. And this is resulting from that offshoot. How fascinating is that? So when people do tissue culture or propagation, sometimes the cloning will produce mutations like variegation. This is extremely spectacular. Now there's no price for this yet, but this is an odd plant, and honestly it looks to me like a Dracaena, but this is actually in the Bromeliaceae family. How wonderful is that? So this plant we'll probably see more commonly in our plant shows and gardens in maybe 10 years time, because literally this is the only plant in the world right now. And I'm here with the breeder himself, and to introduce it to you guys at Roos's channel.
Hi guys, Lindsay here of All the Plant Babies. This is my favorite weird, wonderful plant, which is called the Eulychnia castanea spiralis. It is a cacti originating from Chile. It naturally has these spirals growing on it, which gives it its common name, the unicorn horn cactus. It stopped me in my tracks when I saw it at the International Aroid Show. I know, I was there to shop for aroids, monsteras, alocasias, anthuriums, and learn about those beautiful plants that I breed, grow, and love. And I saw this magical, mythical beauty and said I had to have it. It was strange, wacky, ribbed for her pleasure. I mean, could not resist. Requires a lot of light. I have it under a very bright grow light and well-draining rocky soil. Makes me feel pretty magical. How do I look?
Hey gorgeous, my name's Amy. We've not met before and I'm so excited to be a part of this collab video with Roos. I hear we're talking about our favourite weird and wonderful plants today. And I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard to choose. Weird and wonderful is like my favourite. So I feel like I've got quite a few weird and wonderful plants in my collection. So yeah, picking three was tricky, but I've picked my three and I'm going to share them with you today. The first plant that I would like to share with you as one of my weird and wonderful favourites is the Nidoscolus aconitifolius, and I've got no idea if I'm saying that correctly or not. I've tried learning this plant's name so many times and it's one that doesn't stick, but I do really love it. It's considered a Caudex plant, which if you know me, you'll know that I really love my Caudex plants. And this one is the variegated one. And I especially love it because the variegation is so different on each side. This side seems to have like the albo marginata kind of variegation, where the variegation's on the outside of the leaf. And it's kind of like it comes in this, I don't know, limey green almost, and then fades to a creamy white, which I freaking love. I love that changing colour, it's so cool. And then this side branches into two. And initially when it branched off, it looked like there was like a completely green side and then a kind of speckled sectoral variegation side. But actually they both do have sectoral variegation. It's not a lot. But there are some leaves that are almost fully green. And I freaking love it. But like the sectoral variegation is stunning. I love that I've got like both on one plant. Like, that's freaking cool, right? Next up, I'd love to talk to you about a hanging weirdo that I have, and that is my Hupersia squarosa. I absolutely love Hupersia plant. Look at all of these little bits of new growth. They look like little snakes. Like, there's dog hair all over it. Sorry, guys. I feel like they look like little snake heads. Like, aren't they cool? I love it. It's so weird. I think they get commonly called tassel ferns, which can totally see that vibe. They are absolutely stunning. So nice to touch. Really love this little weirdo of mine. And last but definitely not least, this is absolutely one of my favourite plants in my collection. I absolutely adore it. It is another Caudex plant, and I tried really hard to not do another Caudex plant, but I couldn't. I love this plant so much, and I think it is a bit weird and it is a bit wonderful. So I had to share it with you, and that is my Adenia glauca. Look at it. I freaking love this plant, guys. I just love a caudex. I love a chunky butt. I love a chunky butt. And then the leaf shape. Are you kidding? I wasn't ever expecting it to be this big. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with it, but I love it regardless of how it's growing. So yeah. So those are my 3 weird and wonderful plants. Thank you so much to Roos for doing this collaboration video and for inviting me to join. I hope to see you guys over on my channel sometime soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.
Hi everybody, my name's Mark and it has been ages since I've done a video, but the lovely Roos has asked me to take part in this collab video and I couldn't say no because it's all about weird and wonderful plants, and I've got 2 of my propagations here that I'm going to share with you today. So the first plant I'm going to show you is this one. Look at that. It is an Aristolochia, and I think it's called Aristolochia leuconera. So it's got amazing golden veinage, as you can see there. The leaves are really quite thick, and it's just starting to grow some new sections and points down here, so it's really looking good. I think this is native to Colombia, but this one has been a slow propagation for me. It's taken ages to get going, and at least it finally has. But that's my first one that I've got, but it's lovely. And my second plant that I've got is definitely one of my favourites. And if you know me, you know I love oxalis. I have absolutely loads of them. But this is oxalis, Ortgiesii. So I think it's commonly known as fishtail oxalis. It is stunning. And as you can see, it is a recent propagation, so I've dug it out, put it in, and it's just starting to grow these new growth points here. So if I get my head out of the way, hopefully you can see clearly the focuses. What's interesting is the foliage underneath is sort of purple, and you can see that there hopefully. And then on the top, it's very green and it's very veiny and hairy. And these grow beautiful yellow flowers. This one will, once it's sort of settled itself out. But I don't see these plants anywhere now. This was a hot plant, I think, probably in the Victorian times, well before the World Wars, because people would have this as a show-off plant because it had yellow flowers all the time, and they'd have them in their glass houses. So I think the only places you sort of see this plant now is in tropical gardens or something like that. But I'd be really interested to know if you've got one of these, so I can find some friends that do have them, because they're lovely. But yeah, that's my 2 weird and wonderful plants. Thank you.
Hi Sweet Lifers and Plant with Roos followers. Thank you, Roos, for inviting us to this collaboration again. It's always a great time, and I love that we can share followers. Sweet Lifers can come to Plant with Roos, and Plant with Roos can come to me. So follow Sweet Life Flora on YouTube and Instagram, and because we all love Roos. If you love Roos's content, you'll love my content too. All right, so today the assignment was the weirdest plant that we have in our collection. And so for me, it's this booby cactus or titty cactus, however you choose. And this particular one is variegated, but the variegation is really interesting because it repeats itself on the top and bottom of each boob, and it's green on the sides, which is really neat. Its botanical name is blah, 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 blah. And I can never ever say it. But another thing that makes it really interesting is it grows babies from not only its butt, I took this one off from here, but also you can get babies from the top. So this one produced 2 babies that I'm going to root out and pot up, and they'll be available at our next Sweet Life Flora sale. So thanks again, Roos. I look forward to doing another collaboration like this in the future. Follow for more plant talk at Sweet Life Flora.
Hello everybody, glad you could make it to this section of the video. My name is Kaylee Allen and I want to show you 3 weird plants that are not aroids or Hoya. So we're going to start with this guy. This guy is my pride and joy. If you don't know what it is, it's a type of plant known as a Hupertia, or a tassel fern, more commonly known. It has this really cool branching habit, and it kind of grows like this. Think of it a little bit like a family tree. It's really, really nice, and it's really unusual. And I don't really see anybody kind of having them, which is kind of sad. They could be more available in Europe than they are in the UK. The UK is notoriously terrible for this kind of stuff. But I wanted to show you this as the first plant because I just think it's so cool. It's soft to the touch, and look how cute it is. But that is it. That is Hupertzia squarosa. If you like Hupertzia, you like the vibe of this, there's so many other Hupertzia. I implore you to have a quick Google and check it out. My second weird plant that is not an aroid or a Hoya is this guy. To say he's weird is maybe a bit harsh because I don't find him weird, but I don't find him the norm. I don't find a lot of people have these. I don't know how blue he's coming off on camera. Let me just hold him up. This here is Microsorum thailandicum, also known as the blue oil fern. And yes, he is that blue. In my opinion, the more light they get, the more blue they become. The internet may contradict that advice. That's fine. That's just what I've noticed. But it's a little bit atypical of a fern, really. I guess that's what could make it strange, right? The leaves are like a really strong Hoya, as it happens. You could liken it to certain types of Hoya, the really cardboardy, firm ones. And I just think it's the best thing ever. A lot of people don't like these because they do produce a lot of spores and they get messy. Personally, I grow this in a cabinet and I don't really move it much. So I don't really get any problems with this kind of thing. But I just think it's so worth having. Microsorum thailandicum, also known as a blue oil fern. Mwah. Unfortunately, I'm going to fail at this a little bit because I don't really have anything else that's weird and not an aroid. So I guess I'm just going to have to show you the new orchid I picked up. So I guess it's different, right? I wouldn't say it's weird, but I would say it's different from what you technically probably think of a lot of orchids, and I want to draw people's attention to it. This is Phalaenopsis schilleriana. The reason it's good is because for an orchid, it's actually got really pretty mottled leaves like this. So if you don't think you can get an orchid to flower, you're not really left with boring green foliage, right? Because nobody wants a green stump, even though I bet half of us grow them anyway. What are our plants if not green stumps? But you get my point. And I've got all these beautiful blooms. I want to show you them up close. They are so pretty, so cute. Although not weird, I would say that it's potentially out of the ordinary. Not only that, but you can get a ton of other ones as well that do look weird. I just don't happen to have one that looks weird. But hey, it's not an aroid.
Thank you, Kaylee and everyone. Now it is my turn. And it was quite tricky because most of my plants are aroids or Hoya, I have to admit. So my first pick is a cactus, and this is called Lophocerius scottii F. monstruosa. Of course, the sun goes away. It's very interesting weather today. The sun keeps coming back and forth, so the lighting might look a little bit different on all my frames. But this is it. There are some spider webs on there. Look how weird that is. It kind of looks like a booby cactus, but more like weird. And I love this one. It just lives in our greenhouse, and I don't know if it's growing actually. I've had this for a while now. I don't know, but it's not shrinking, it's not squishy, so that's a good sign. It's not rotting. Some of my cacti have recently rotted, but yeah. What do you think? It kind of reminds me of like a plump human, and I love it. My second pick is a Labicea, and I think this is a Labicea riau, but I'm not quite sure. I don't have the label on it. And I have a lot of Labicea. I love them a lot. This was just one that was in a pot so that it was easier to bring it to you and show you. But I have these all over my terrariums. The leaves shape I love. The leaf colors I love. Often there is some pink in the new leaves and in the veins as well. This one is not getting a lot of light, so I think if I give it more light, maybe I'll get more pink. I'm not sure how that works with these plants, but also, as you may have noticed during the video, opinions and experiences of people differ on what brings out different colors. So it's always good to experiment yourself, try different things out. So that's my second pick. And then the last one I actually got as tiny plants from one of you. These are Australian bottle trees. And in general, I love this one. It lives in the greenhouse and it can survive the winter. That's probably why they are a little bit more bare stem. The leaves looked like this for a really long time. But just recently, I noticed that the new leaves on this one are becoming little 5 stars. Wait, I'll make it a little bit darker. Maybe that helps. See? They're weird little shapes. And there's another baby coming in here in the center there. That looks really cool too. And it's actually kind of a shame. There are 3 plants in here, and the roots, or like the base of those stems, are the coolest, not the coolest part, but they're a really cool part of this plant because they look really geographical, kind of caudex-y. And because I repotted it recently, it had to go underneath the soil, which is kind of a shame. Maybe you can, I don't know if you'll be able to grow these in water. I know these are grown as indoor plants in very shallow pots, which makes sense now that I've seen the stems. It's so cool. But for now, we grow these 3 in the greenhouse, just on a shelf with all the cacti and succulents. So they are getting a lot of light. And I think it's happy. The leaves are getting bigger. All 3 plants are still alive after several winters now with almost freezing temperatures in the greenhouse. And I think it looks really funky and different. And that was the goal of this video. Weird and wonderful. I'm going to be doing a lot more. Oh, I just noticed something. This previous leaf also had multiple. I didn't realize. But this leaf here had 3. 1, 2, 3. See? This one, and this one. I missed that. That's exciting. It's like with how certain philodendron leaves mutate in shape, which I personally love a lot, like on Florida Ghosts and Florida Beauties. Thank you so much to all the creators who joined this video. I really enjoyed seeing all their different picks, and I am planning all the new collaboration videos, Hoya, philodendron, all the aeroids that were excluded from this first one. So I am excited for that. Hello. I am excited for that. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and then you'll see a little hype button. That really helps to tell YouTube that you like this video. So if you're willing to do that, that would be amazing. And we will see you in the next video. Bye!